Hi guys! So today I am going to be showing you guys a really cool look that I created using some products that are pretty popular right now, and I wanted to incorporate some of Anastasia's new waterproof cream colors. So yeah, let's just get started here. So I just started prepping my skin with the NYX Photo Loving Primer. It's really cool because it's actually purple, so it kind of cancels out any like blue or like dark areas that I have, especially under my eyes. And I'm just putting a little bit of chapstick here. Okay, so for my foundation, I love using the Studio Fix Fluid NC42 from MAC. It's just one of those foundations that works like really, really good for me. So I'm, kind of addicted to it. And here I have my Real Techniques blending sponge or beauty blender, whatever you want to call it. I love it because it's actually kind of flat from one end and pointed in the other. So it's really cool for like multitasking. So here I am just going to dot it all over my face. I usually apply it with my fingers, but now with these nails, guys, like it's a little bit more of a challenge because I hate when it gets under my nails and it stains them, especially with the white. But I hope you guys don't get annoyed with my voice, but it's a lot easier for me to like do my makeup without talking. I'm a little quicker. So, and it's still a 18-minute video. So grab some snacks, guys. But yeah, so I'm just, applying it all over my skin. And I am speeding up the video just a tad bit here. So I'm soaking my sponge in the Mario Badescu. It's a facial spray. It's scented with, I think it's rose water. Yeah, rose water, aloe, and herbs. So here I'm just blending it out. The beauty blender was already a little damp, but I always like to apply a little bit extra just to make sure that everything blends out nicely. And here I'm just working it all into my skin. You want to do patting motions rather than pulling it around. Okay, and here I have my NARS, the creamy concealer. This is in the shade of Ginger, and I love because it really does highlight really nicely. So just applying and blending all over my eyes or under eye area. And I do use it as, I guess, a lid primer. It works good for me when I do that with my concealers. So as I'm applying, I also do blend it on my lid. And here we have the Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20. I always mix concealers. I'm not that girl. I don't do just one concealer. Because as you can see, I have somewhat of darkness under my eyes and I feel like I have bags, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So yeah, I'm just blending it out. Okay guys, so Airspun, this powder, it's a setting powder or a loose face powder. You can find these at Walgreens, CVS, Target. These powders are amazing to set your makeup with. So I love just kind of baking my face, now that they call it like that. So I just kind of like grab my beauty blender and like I dip it in and then I just press it against the under eye area or wherever I highlighted and I just let it bake. So it does look a little crazy at first, but just let it do its thing. And the results are so pretty. So yeah, right here, I'm just patting it. Don't worry about how it's going to look for now, okay? We'll kind of dust it all off later. Okay, so the eyebrows. I did speed up because I do take a little longer with my brows, and like I said, it was already an 18-minute video. So just filling them in, and I'm using, just because it was there, I'm using one of the shades from the Tarte palette, and I don't know what it's called. So I will link it down there, though, on the description box for you guys, so you guys know what shade it was. But if you know the palette and you see the palette that I have, it's called Poppy Picnic. It's the darkest brown from that palette that I'm using for my brows. Alright, so we're going to start with the eyeshadow now. And I'm going to start with Peach Poppy right on the crease. It's like this really pretty peachy pink color, which is a really nice transition color. So I'm just going to start with that one and just blend it out on the crease. Just kind of like back and forth. It doesn't have to be perfectly applied because, like I said, it's going to be a transition color. So we'll kind of worry about that a little later. But just blend, blend, blend. And then we're going to start adding a little bit of contrast with Sweet Tea, which is really pretty. It actually reminds me of Cork. I don't know if you're familiar with that shadow from MAC Cosmetics, but we're just kind of adding a little bit of depth here, right along the crease as well. And I always like to dip a little in, like a little bit of the shadow. I don't like to, pick up too much product because it's easier to add more than to get rid of. So just be patient and just build that shadow to your desired shade. If you want it darker, if you like a little lighter, just kind of build it to whatever you like. Okay, and then now, and I did speed up this part because, like I said, it's a little bit of a long video, so I wanted to make sure that I could, add everything that I needed to add for you guys. So this darker shade that I'm using now is called Picnic Basket. It's a really pretty, like chocolate brown, I feel. So it's kind of good just to make the outer corners stand a little better with the other colors. So we're just kind of blending out. And what you want to do when you're blending out with your brush is kind of blend, I don't know how to explain, like upwards towards your brow, if that makes sense to you. Just because we're going to be, well, for this look anyway, we're going to be adding a little bit of the darker shadow on the lash line a little later. So you want to make sure that they kind of meet. So don't worry if it looks crazy or a little messy on the ends, because we're going to clean all that up a little later, or now actually. So with a concealer and a flat brush, you just want to kind of wipe from where the bottom of your lash ends upwards to where your brow is. And it might look a little harsh at first, but you can always kind of blend it out and eliminate those harsh concealer lines. A lot of people don't like that look. Some people do, so just do whatever you like. So I personally don't like a harsh line, so I went in with my Beauty Blender and just kind of blended out the end so it's not as harsh. And now for the darker color that I mentioned for the liner, and I am going to use a powdered liner instead of a liquid one because I didn't want this look to be something you can't wear during the day. So we're going to use Ice Cream Cone just on the outer edge there with a flat brush, just to kind of create a kind of like a liner effect. Oh, and I love this lash curler, guys. Tarte has the best lash curler in my opinion. So yeah, I've had this one for so long too, so they do last. Just curling and curling. My eyelashes go straight down, unfortunately, and I hate that. So I'm not a just a regular mascara girl. I need to always have waterproof, otherwise they will go back down. And this is my favorite mascara too, the telescopic mascara, the waterproof one. It's the only way these lashes stay up. Oh, okay. So this right here, these lashes are Grand Glamour by Vegas Nay. I don't know if you guys know, but she came out with her own lashes now, and they're available at Target. I hadn't tried them, so I was super excited when I actually went in and they were there. So I got the most dramatic ones, which are those. They're a really cool lash, actually. They're really full, and they're, I don't know, the length is just perfect. So they are very glamorous. And I decided to do that with this look only because the shadow wasn't that dramatic. So the lashes actually got to balance out the look. Yay, and for the fun part, um, okay, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, I don't usually do really crazy colors like this, but I was like, you know what? Why not? I got the collection, so I might as well just, try it out because their colors are beautiful and the consistency of this liner too. Like I literally picked up such a small amount and that cream liner was so pigmented. It was so, so pretty. So I loved it and I was like, I'm gonna try it out and just create a look where I can, incorporate this color, but still could be, wearable for the day. And this color that I'm using, it's called Ice Blue. It's a waterproof cream color by Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you guys don't follow her, I don't know what you guys do because she is very, very, very well known and respected. So she comes out with some beautiful products. And yeah, this color though, like, I guess it kind of like really stands out too because of my dark hair. Yay. Yeah, I was kind of late on showing you guys what I put on. Sorry. Okay, and just to kind of make my bottom lashes look a little fuller as well, I am adding that last shadow ice cream cone, I believe it's called, the darker one. Yep. Adding that just to make my bottom lashes look a little fuller. And I'm focusing them more, that color, more on the outer end of my bottom lash line, just so that I could still let that color, the blue, stand out. So just blending with sweet tea, so there's no harsh lines. No, no, no. I don't know what I was listening to. Okay, so the lash, the mascara that I'm using on my bottom, I don't like using waterproof on my bottom lashes just because I don't need it on the bottom. So I'm using Light Camera Lashes by Tarte, and it's a beautiful mascara. I love it. The brush is really full, and when you pull out the products, it does bring out just the perfect amount. So it does help my lashes look full and long and pretty. Alright guys, so for the contour we're using Dark Deepest. It's a mineralized skin finish powder from MAC Cosmetics with the 163 flat brush. That way you can kind of create a more precise contour line on your cheekbones without having it get all over the place. I think that brush is actually really helpful. Like if you don't have that one, I know NARS has one, and Morphe brushes has one too, I believe. But those brushes were designed for contour, so it makes things a lot easier too, just to kind of find that line, where your cheekbones are. Okay, so when you apply the product, just kind of blow off the excess, just so you don't put too much on, and it's easier to blend out. So like I just did right now, you want to apply it, and as you're applying it, you're going to blend it upwards just a little bit. And then never bring down that contour line all the way down to your lip or your nose. Just kind of focus it more like maybe halfway, because when you blend it out with your other brush, or my brush was the 168 by MAC, you're going to bring it down just a tad bit more, so it's going to come together really nicely. And this brush is actually really cool because it's a tapered brush, so it kind of, you know, blends everything really nicely and just puts the product where it needs to be. These are probably one of the most common contour brushes used right now. And I love it. It's my favorite. So you just want to focus it, cheekbones, and then I do bring down whatever's left on my brush to my my jawline, my forehead, and then my temples as well, just to create that beautiful contour look. Alright guys, so now moving on to the lips. I did want to keep them more on the nude side just because I felt like I had a little bit more going on with the eyes, just to balance everything out. This liner is by Milani. It's called All Natural. It's the number 4. It's the perfect combination with the matte LA Girl lip gloss. This is in the shade Dreamy. And if you guys haven't tried those matte glosses, they're really nice. They actually dry within seconds, and I mean, for what you pay for them, it's a pretty amazing product. So yeah guys, so this is kind of wrapping up now, my video. Just wanted to tell you guys thank you so much for watching, and if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and find me, Lodivino1, and oh wait, highlight, duh. This is Gold Deposit by MAC, and I'm just using a little fan brush here just to kind of give me that glow. Silly me, almost forgot. But that pretty much wraps it up, guys. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.